Hi everybody, this is Chad, the gaming dad with Dad's Games. This is Cawzy and this is Chris.
How's it going?
Old guys, all the games, except today we're here to do a review, a three-way review, and a discussion about good old No Man's Sky. Everybody's talking about it and we gotta put in our 3 cents, right?
I like that, our 3 cents.
So, first thing I wanted everybody to do is understand where we're coming from, okay? I was kind of, interested in the game. I played Elite Dangerous, and I like a lot of flying games and flight simulators, space flight simulators especially. So I had my eye on it because I thought that was going to be pretty cool. But I wasn't... I wound up getting it right after it came out, but I didn't pre-order it or anything. It was after I kind of saw a little bit about it and thought, you know what, I'll give it a try. So where did you come from?
I was excited about it, like, off and on. I got more excited about it basically when I played with you guys on the PS4.
Yeah.
And that was a week before it came out on the PC. And I don't have a PS4, so I was getting it for the PC, and I got it right when it came out on the or on the PC,
mm-hmm.
which I think was like the 12th or something like that. But,
yeah.
So I got it like right before it released, so I got like the bonus ship and stuff like that.
Right.
So I was just kind of,
Well, plus your take's going to be unique for everybody out there because I have a PS4 version and Chris does too.
Mm-hmm.
But Cawzy here has the PC version, so we're going to get both sides of it. So you were very excited about this game.
I was probably on a scale of out of 10. I'd probably give it a 9 as far as being excited. And the day it came out, I probably played a good 6 hours before the guys came over, and I would say that excitement has gone down drastically since it's been out, and I would say probably now I play it periodically, but it's not something I have to have in my PS4 right now.
Okay. So how many hours total do you think you've had in it? I mean, you can't really look at your PS4 and see exactly how many hours, but like just a guess.
I would say about 40, 45.
Already, huh? Yeah. Wow, that is a lot. How many for you?
Not that. Including the time that I played. I think I played on your PS4 for about, 2 hours?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that put together with on my PC, I'd say only about 5 hours.
Okay.
I got very bored with it and semi-frustrated and just kind of stopped. This was last weekend,
mm-hmm.
and just haven't picked it back up again and gone and played it again.
Okay.
I just, I don't know. Like I said, I was like mediocre excited about it when it was coming out, and I just kind of got bored with it pretty quickly.
Now, did you have any of those PC glitches or any of that crap they were talking about?
Very little. When I first put it on, the graphics were a little, like it would freeze a little bit here
mm-hmm.
and there. Like you'd be moving and it would just almost like have like a frame rate skip kind of thing. Like,
would it just slow down to like really slow frame rate or something, or would it?
No,
just,
it would just like freeze for a second.
Jump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not even jump. It would just like freeze for a second, and then you'd go again.
Okay.
But that like went away. I don't know if like my computer just had to like decide to get
warm
used
up to it
or something. But that went away, and I just I think my biggest frustration was all just the mining. That's like that's all I feel like I do in that game is mine, and
mm-hmm.
I mine some more stuff, and I mine, and I run over here and I mine, and I run back to the ship, and I didn't mine enough, so I got to go back out and mine some more. And it just was like I'm like.
Then you run out of space, and then you have to move your mine.
Yeah, and then I run out of space, and I mine all this gold, thinking, I found a space station, and I can take the gold to the space station, but then nobody wants to buy the gold.
Yeah, you get like minimal. It's not that much money you get for
I didn't get any money. Nobody wanted it.
Really? You weren't even able...
I went to.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wasn't
I got
even
100%
able to...
bump on the gold I sold.
No.
See, well, that is something I read, too, is that depending on where you are in space, certain areas are designated higher or lower quantities, and so
yeah.
But that depends on every
price.
element you're in.
I mean,
right.
I imagine it's the demand and stuff like that, but I don't know. I guess I had read somewhere that, you should get the gold because they want to buy that. And I was
maybe where that person started, they needed it.
Possibly.
But,
I was like, I saw cash because I was like on a planet with mountains of gold, and I'm like,
I know when you
Yeah.
go to the stations and you go to the vendors, you can look and you'll see like a gold star next to different things that you can buy or sell. Those are the things that are high right then. Those are like the highest pieces. So if it's like titanium or something has got a gold star by it, and you know where some is at the planet you were just at, go get that and then bring it back because it's going to sell for high.
And I mean, I visited... The PC version didn't seem all that different from the PS4 version, honestly. I mean, after the graphic hiccups for a little bit, I was using a controller just as I was with the PS4. So
what about that? Like, you know how when you're on PS4 and you're flying, all the trees just kind of like they turn grainy for a second, then they appear instead of pop in. They kind of fade in. Is there a lot of that on the PC too? Did you notice, or is it longer draw distance? Maybe
I think it's a bit longer distance that I can.
Well, you can control your FOV too.
Yeah.
On the PS4, you're looking like this, and on the computer, you can open it up.
Yeah, it seems like it's a bit more open, but
I'd like to know more on the PC if it had like a dual monitor, if it would expand.
That would be cool.
That'd be kind of cool to know if that was actually the case, or if it's not.
I don't think you could. You can. I messed around with that because I was trying to stream it on my channel on Twitch, and I had to mess around with it some to get it to stream properly. So I had to run it like in a certain mode, so that it would capture correct on the capture card. But like you can change the size of the window, you can make it the whole monitor. You can do a bunch of different stuff. I don't know if it'll span between two monitors, but that could just be messing around with the size of the window too.
Yeah.
Something I didn't really experiment with, but I did notice when I had the window a certain size, it did bleed over into my second monitor. So it's a distinct possibility.
Okay. Well, I never answered the question yet of how many hours I did. I'm in between these guys. We got sidetracked, but I played it the first day, like probably 6-7 hours like you did, and then I played it for 2 or 3 days like that, so I don't think I got to 40. I probably am closer between 15 and 20, but I was more rapidly exploring because in my mind I was like, okay, we started off on this planet and I've seen this and this is cool, but I want to go see more stuff. What else is there? So I followed the atlas. That at the beginning you can choose whether you want to follow the atlas. Did you guys wind up doing that? Did you follow it?
Yep.
I did until I get very OCD, and I'm a completionist when it comes to games. I want to see every little part and every little thing, and when I was on a planet, I wanted to see every little part of that planet. So I would sit there and explore as many planets as I could, and I explored probably 10 planets now, and I would want to find every little shelter, every little transmission post. I'd want to find every monolith. I'd want to find everything I could as far as the languages are concerned, because I felt it would open up more of the game. Now, as I've learned in my experience, and maybe different than you guys, the more the languages I'm able to see, the more of those, I guess you could say, riddles throughout the games I'm able to solve because I understand the language, and it may be something that has helped me with the factions as far as some of the aliens are concerned.
How many words, like, when they give you the sentence, how many words do you usually actually get translated or whatever?
The most I've had is 7.
Okay. So it's like probably half of it then, right?
4 or 5 usually.
It's not bad.
And it's always like interloper. And,
I get interloper every time.
Exactly,
but
yeah. And there's a couple that are like, I see warrior.
Yeah.
It'll say, a couple of them are, I've had the aliens where the typical stuff is they'll give you health, shield, or, something else. But I've had a few times where they're like, we're going to give you a new upgrade to your multi-tool, or an upgrade to your shield, or an upgrade to your ship, and which is pretty cool because of the faction rating I've achieved on some of those planets. So I really like that part of it. Now, I haven't explored as much as you have, and I haven't gotten some of the features that you have.
So you're going real slow, taking it like one planet at a time, where me, I was like, okay, I'm going to get... My whole focus at the beginning was get a warp core or warp drive or whatever, and then I got one spot on a planet where all the materials to first make this thing, then the second thing, and then the antimatter, and then make a warp, they were all nearby. So I just maxed it out. I filled it up. And so then I was able to warp like 5 or 6 times. And so I didn't even stop. I would just go, next system, next system, next system. I didn't care. I was like, every time I would stop at the space station because you can just get stuff. I was getting the free stuff, and then I did wind up getting Atlas Pass 1. And the cool thing with that is every space station you go to, the door that's locked over on the side, you go in there, and when you first walk in, it opens up an extra slot of inventory for your suit, and it's 10,000. Then you go to the next one, and it has the exact same thing, but every time you buy it, it's another 10,000. So it was 10, and then it was 20, then 30, 40. I think I bought like 6 or 7 of them by now. Okay? And so I opened all that up. And then I got the new ship, the download ship that comes, I don't know what it is. With the consoles, it was an extra add-in, and for the PC, you said you just got it right off the bat,
Yeah, I
right?
just, it basically popped up with this little message saying, do you want to use the ship that came with, pre-ordering?
Yeah.
And I just hovered over that and said yes, and then it changed, and that's the one
it
I
didn't
had to
seem like
repair.
it's much different, except for there's some more slots on that ship than the other original one.
I think it looks cooler.
That's
It
funny.
does look cooler. It does look cooler.
Yeah.
So I just kept going, man. I was just boom, boom, boom. Then I followed the Atlas. I actually went to 2 or 3 of those black diamond Atlas things, and you walk in and they don't really tell you anything, but they give you more warps inside there. So that was cool. I would just install those and then head off to the next thing. I got bored with that because it seemed like I wasn't getting anywhere, and I didn't understand why I was going to all these places. So then I saw the one guy said, do you want a shortcut to the center of the universe? I said, yeah, and he showed me where black hole was. I actually then warp, made it to the black hole, and I was thinking, okay, finally I got excited again. The very first time I played it, I was excited. I thought this was going to be great. Then I got really bored. And then I got this black hole coming at me, and I was like, okay, after I go through the black hole, there's got to be something else, right? So I warp. I get through the black hole, does this cool little animation, stuff's flying by, and I pop out, and I'm like, did I go through it or not? I couldn't tell because everything looked exactly the same still. I was still in the Euclid Galaxy. I haven't even changed out of that yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm in the Euclid Galaxy, too. Who isn't in the Euclid Galaxy?
We don't live far from Cleveland, and that's one of the main streets. Euclid Galaxy's right up downtown.
Well, and that's the thing. Did you ever come across? Is this supposed to be multiplayer? Is this single player?
That's the big thing that everybody's complaining about, because now they're coming out. The guy that developed it, what's his name? Sean? Something Murray Sean? I think so.
Yeah.
Well, Twitter, and when he went on different TV talk shows and stuff, he was talking about, it's going to be multiplayer, everybody can play, but the chances of you meeting somebody is going to be so slim that it'll probably never happen. Well, come to find out, a lot of people are saying that's a flat-out lie because he knew it wasn't going to work in the first place.
Yeah.
And now he's coming out saying, no, it's not a multiplayer thing, because 2 streamers apparently did meet up on the exact same planet in the same place. They verified they were in the same place. They couldn't see each other. And he had said that once upon a time, and I think it was maybe something that they hoped to do, but it's not there now.
Yeah, you can't say... I understand the size of the game. It would be very difficult to meet up with somebody. But if you're taking a black hole, to a completely different part...
I was expecting
and
a different galaxy,
and
at
those
least.
are, everywhere.
Yeah.
You
can find them a lot of places.
You're probably going to run into somebody if you're moving around that much.
I found 2 black holes so far. I only went through the one. So
I don't know. It makes me feel like, well, if it's not multiplayer and you're renaming all these animals and plants and planets, all these stupid names, what does it matter?
I think I would
nobody
jump
else
in
is
on
going to
that.
see it.
now, right.
The potential is there. The potential for the future of the game, I would say, is so much there.
Okay.
Because he has, people are going to be building outposts, building cities on each of these
But
planets.
not yet.
Wait.
In the future,
Can you? That's what I was expecting.
No, you can't do that yet.
Can
Not
you
yet.
build stuff?
Not yet.
No. And you're saying the potential is there. Well, that's what I was expecting for my $60.
Yeah.
Okay, and I didn't get that.
You
So
just
it's
just pre-ordered the rest of the game, which is coming later.
Oh, okay.
Now, tell me if you guys feel this way. Do you feel like you bought I guess you could say, not a beta, but a...
Early access?
Early access, thank you. I kind of feel like an early access
because
game, yeah.
I thought I was going to be able to build. Maybe I read that somewhere. I don't know why. I thought I was going to be able to build. I thought there would be able to be some kind of interaction with the other players. Maybe you wouldn't be able to meet up, but you could I could look you up and be like, oh, there's Chad's home planet. There's
Yeah, well, I can't even go back to the planets that I've already been to. I don't know how to go back I mean, I guess there's a list,
Yeah.
but I really don't know how. I mean, you can see the ones that you've went to, but I'm not sure if you can even set a waypoint and try to go back to a planet that you've been to before without just knowing how to get there, which...
Impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible.
I mean, so it's just... Here's my thing. I think maybe it's a little too big. You
Well,
know, I mean...
You guys, we've discussed kind of where we came from and what we've been playing with it. Let's just go through and kind of give our reviews then. I don't usually give review scores. I usually give the positive and negative and tell you where I fall. If you guys want to do scores, you can. I really don't care. But I'll start off since I'm already talking, and I love to talk, you know. So, so for me, I bought it thinking that it was going to be, you know, a little bit like what I used to play on Elite Dangerous. If you people, anybody haven't played Elite Dangerous, it's kind of like this, where you're in a universe and there's all these places to go, but it's more of a simulator. You do have to control the ship. You have to land it. If you bump into the landing site, you get fined credits and stuff. I mean, you have to, like, you really feel like you're living inside this world as a pilot doing this flying around with the ship thing. I love that. That game is exciting and it's super fun. And it doesn't seem to be more action-packed or anything. It's just that it makes you feel like you're in it more, for me. On this one, you can't crash the ship. You can try to crash the ship on the ground. It won't crash. The planets, I mean, some of them, it's interesting to see where there's temperatures and this and that going up and down, but it really doesn't affect you that much. It's just, you know, you basically watch the meter for how long it's going to take for you to hurry up and get back to your ship and then just go and then go back out and farm some more stuff and then come back. The Minecraft thing for me, you know, a lot of people are comparing this to Minecraft, saying, you know, you have to go out and find your stuff. Right now there's nothing to build, but I did listen to an interview, or not an interview, but a review earlier today, and it made a good point. And they were talking about when Minecraft first launched, you couldn't do anything in it. You couldn't do much anyway. You could chop down a tree and make a house, and that's about it. But since then, they've just kept adding to it and adding to it and adding to it. And now, Minecraft's a whole different ballgame than it was before. Not just because Microsoft bought it, but even before then. So, I actually have a lot more fun in Minecraft than I do in No Man's Sky. And I hate to say that because I love spaceflight. But if you said, hey man, you want to play Minecraft? You want to play No Man's Sky? I'd say, let's play Minecraft today.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one better. It seems like there's more to do. It's more fulfilling, and you can actually do whatever you want. This game gives you the promise of being able to do whatever you want, but you can't really do whatever you want. And my idea is they keep saying so many quintillion planets. If you only have 5 different planets, 5 planets to start with, and then you just kind of Lego block switch them up a little bit, that's not... It's quintillion planets done with 5 pieces over and over again, basically. And it just... I wouldn't recommend this if you are looking for something that is more of a simulator and something where you do have to build things with the stuff that you've crafted. Really, all this is just a menu system. I mean, you're hardly flying the ship. You're mostly in menus. You know, you look at one menu and it says, you need this, this, and this to build a rocket. Well, you don't see the rocket being built. You don't put it together. You don't do anything. You just go out and go, and stuff comes flying at you, and then, okay, now you can have a rocket. You push the X button, rocket, cool, now I can go. It's...
Yeah.
I don't know. So if you like just something where maybe you want to, like, just chill out, it's a good chill game because there's not a whole lot going on. If you just like nitpicking around and finding all the little bits and pieces and something really slow, it could be cool. And in the future, if they add all these things that they're talking about now as far as building bases and maybe adding some more multiplayer, I did come across one planet that had already been found once. I didn't land on it, but it was one of the ones off in the distance, and I was just pushing buttons, just seeing what was out there. You know how you can go to the star map? I did find one planet that had been seen by somebody. So that part of it works, but I would never see that person. For me, I'm leaning towards I don't really like it that much, but I'm not going to say that I hate it. I will go back to it and play it, you know, an hour here, an hour there, just for something else to distract me for a while. I mean, I can't play Doom all the time, so that's pretty much where I'm at. I'm sort of on the lower end. So,
Well, I'm right there with you on the lower end. I'll give you my frustrations, and maybe you guys can answer some questions because you've played it longer, but I don't think that you will have the answers.
Mm-hmm.
One of my biggest frustrations was expectation. I did expect to be able to build stuff. I did expect to have some kind of interaction with the other players, not necessarily meeting up with them, but, you know, I could look, like I said, I could look and see what Chad's home planet was, that kind of stuff. You know, or what animals Chad has discovered. And, you know, not necessarily be able to meet up with him, but just kind of see what he's up to. And that's not there.
Just to know that somebody else is doing this besides
so
just
much
you.
like a friends list, or
and that's how this whole universe, this whole world that you're in, kind of feels like it's filled with randomly generated planets and animals and aliens, but it feels very empty too.
Well, and it also feels like you're the only one there.
It feels empty and
even
lonely.
though you're the only one there, you see ships flying over you all the time on planets that have never been discovered.
Right.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
and one of my biggest frustrations, and you can see this in my stream that I was doing, is I got way out there just kind of poking around like you were, but I was doing it on foot. Okay, just because
why not?
I wanted to.
Yeah.
Mainly because I was searching to fix my ship. It was at the beginning.
Yeah.
And you can get this way too. I mean, if you get out there just exploring and get away from your ship, and then you have to get back to your ship, it could take a while to get back to your ship, you know, especially if you haven't found any other waypoints, or if you're not close enough to any other waypoints. And as far as I know, that's the only way you can save the game.
I don't think you can save just while you're walking around.
No.
You have to find your ship, or you have to find one of those like lamppost things.
Right, you have to be able to save your game, but you can't do that from anywhere. So if you're 20 minutes out from a waypoint,
you're SOL.
you're SOL, or you're walking, and that's what I was doing in my stream. So I kept saying to people, "Boy, guys, this is pretty exciting. Trying to get back to the ship."
Simulator.
Trying to get back to the ship, you know, and like you can only run for so long, and then your jetpack only works for so long, so it's like you're chugging along, and it took me 15 minutes to get back to my ship, and that's just not exciting. My slots are all full, so I can't mine anything else, you know, and you know, I just wanted to save the game and get back to my ship.
Jeez.
And so that wasn't fun.
Would you say you were stuck in No Man's Land?
Yeah, No Man's Land. Yeah. I mean, so that was a drawback for me. And then, you know, when I finally... I streamed it one time, and then I streamed another time after I got my ship all fixed up and everything, and I lifted off. I was all excited. What I love about the game, I do love the flight part of the game. I love the controls. I like flying around. I love how it flies up into space, how you have to break through the atmosphere.
That is cool.
And then whenever you come into a planet, I love how that inertia makes it...
it's like you're entering the atmosphere and it's burning and all. Yeah, that's cool.
So I really like those aspects. I love flying around and shooting asteroids and blowing up asteroids. And I love traveling from planet to planet. It was, you know, a little bit confusing because there's like two different ways you can kind of fly slow, you can fly medium, or you can fly real fast. You know, so you got to kind of figure that out. Not that big of a deal, but after that, one of the disappointments for me was a space station. I'm like, oh, a space station! I'm gonna go there. And I can go talk to a whole bunch of people. It'll be fun. You know, I'm thinking like other games that I've played. There's 30, 40 other creatures at a space station because it's a space station, you know?
You had the Star Wars thinking in your head.
Right, I get there and there's one dude.
Sometimes there's no dude.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And they all look the same. They're terrible. You fly right, and you can't even fly yourself.
No.
You get near it, and it just sucks you in, and that's...
That even I can even let that go, because, hey, they're tractor beaming you in, whatever.
I guess,
you know? But, so ships would fly in and out, so, like... I went to the one guy that was there to try and sell my stuff, and he only wanted some of the stuff. So, and he couldn't understand me. I couldn't understand him.
Well, you can try to sell your stuff and buy the ships of the other guys that come in.
I tried to do that. I didn't have enough credits.
No, you need a lot of credits.
So I was just kind of disappointed by the space stations themselves, and a lot of the space station I couldn't get to because I didn't have the dang access card. So
all it gets you is some extra slots in your suit. That's it, pretty much.
So, so for me, I was a little bit excited about this game. It was on my mind to get it. It dropped out of my mind for a while there because I was like, this is just going to be another Minecraft thing, And
I wish it was.
Yeah, I like Minecraft, but I thought, well, this is just going to be Minecraft in space. It's going to be a clone, But it's not. I'm wishing now.
Yeah, if
that
only it was Minecraft in
like
space.
Minecraft,
Gosh, that would be great.
It's like it feels like it's half of Minecraft, So I'm giving this game half of Minecraft out of 10.
Half of Minecraft out of 10?
Half of Minecraft out of 10.
So you're saying they need to add some add some creepers to No Man's Sky.
And that's
there,
that's one
there
of the
should
other,
be creepers. It's random,
Well, I mean, you do have
trillion.
there are animals and stuff that attack you, but I was expecting more of the building part.
Yeah.
And you do have crafting, but it's crafting for your suit, your ship, your hand tools, stuff like that. I wanted to build my own buildings, stuff like that, so I could store stuff, so I could build onto it, so I can make.
What do you think about the buildings that are there? Every time you find one, it's the exact same building.
It's boring. It's the same thing with the little plants and the little pods inside, and there's a desk, and it's boring.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. So for me, the big disappointment, and I don't know how much Minecraft was when it first came out. I think it was $20.
It still is only like $20.
Yeah, it's still $20. This was not $20. This was $60, and I don't feel like we got a $60 game.
It's an indie game for sure. It was developed by, 20-some people?
10.
10? Yeah. It's an indie game, and they decided that because the hype was so big, that they're like, hey guys, a lot of people are going to buy this thing. We were going to sell it for $20. How about 60? Sound good? Okay, great. And that's what they did.
Yeah.
Everybody still bought it, but that's part of the reason why everybody isn't liking it as much. If I only paid $20 for this, I'd go, wow, that's really impressive for $20.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit different story.
Especially if they're like, hey, don't worry, guys, we're going to keep adding to it later. That only spending $20 at the beginning would have been like, bravo, that's great.
I'd be like, okay, I can explore around and stuff until you allow me to build my own base and space station and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, I thought I was going to be able to, be part, build my own space station or be part of, maybe not necessarily a community of real people, but, the aliens there, and it's not living up to the expectations.
All right, so we move on to Chris, who was the most hyped at the beginning and has actually put the most hours in. Everybody says, hey, it gets good after 20 hours. So what are you here to tell us? After 20 hours?
I'm totally disagreeing with Mike and Chad.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Now,
That's good.
I guess you have to use your imagination a little bit more in this game. I do agree with everything they said. It does get a cookie-cutter feel to it. You do see the same kind of planet atmosphere. You do see the same colors. You see the same buildings. I agree completely with the controls. The controls are spot on. Mm-hmm. The space simulation when you leave and enter a planet, and when you're actually in space, when you go through warps, that is amazing. I mean, you actually feel like you're in the game itself. You feel like you're in space itself. Mm-hmm. I love the fact that I like going to different planets and always seeing different elements. They're not always the same elements somewhere. I find some really weird elements, and and then I see some of the upgrades to stuff, being at all the different shelters and everything else on the planets that I love. I have OCD with. It says, find this, and it's like, well, I haven't even seen that element anywhere in all the planets I've been. Now, probably if I've gone as many planets as you guys have both have, or Chad has, I may have seen those elements, but I still like the fact that I'm learning all the languages. I'm getting really good faction with a lot of the aliens, which seems to be unlocking a little bit more in the game. But like Chad said, with 18 quintillion planets, how do you just observe the ones within a small galaxy of, say, 10 planets or even 100 planets?
Yeah.
100 planets, that's probably a good 100 hours.
Mm-hmm. At least, if you're actually exploring the whole planet.
If you're really trying to understand and get to the center of the universe, which is the actual point of the game, you're never going to do that if you just, try to explore every single planet and try to understand the faction with the alien races, why they're at war with other alien races. And some of the stuff you find on the planets in the canisters, like, this is good for this, and I've given some of those items to the aliens, and it's like, oh, they get all excited when they're on the space station or in some of the places, and they get really excited, and I'm like, well, that's kind of cool how they tied that together. So that kind of pulls me away from that cookie cutter aspect to it, because that wouldn't happen everywhere if that was on every single planet. You got to find that stuff if you got to look somewhere. So if I had to give it a review right now, I would give it probably a 7 out of 10. It's not great. It's not. I don't think it's a $60 game either.
Right.
I would say 30, maybe even 40, but not 60.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I do agree with is all the DLC is free. So
That's
everything
good.
that they actually come out in the future is free. So whenever they update, you'll get automatically updated on PC or your PS4. So I like that. I think we all agree on the fact that it is a perfect game when you come home from work and you have that day where it's completely sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us have that.
Yeah.
No matter what profession you're in. And you could put this game in and explore a planet or in space and just have a cold drink, whatever you're drinking, and literally just a beverage of your choice and chill. And it literally is the very relaxing game.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of those newer games that are coming out that are high paced, very competitive, you lose that, because I become more stressed when I play those. And with this, I can play this and be like, yeah, I can go to bed after this because I'm nice and relaxed.
Yeah.
I feel good. So does it have all the aspects I wanted with it? No. But it has everything I need to start and everything I need to have a nice relaxing evening and enjoy myself still.
So that's good. I mean, when I was doing my part of it, I said that some people might like it if they are more into the collecting and just exploring and walking around finding stuff. And I think that's where you're coming from. So
Exactly.
you actually had more fun with it than I did, and it seems like you're more like me, where we want a little bit more action. But I do agree. That's why I said I'm not going to say I hate the game. I will play it again, and if they put out this DLC that they're talking about, that may make it a lot better, and it could increase it. But I don't hate it. I don't think you hate it.
No, I'm going to keep it on my computer. I'm not going to
Sure.
try and get my money back. So, you know.
You already played more than 2 hours.
Yeah,
You're
so,
stuck with it. But
I will say this, is that there has been a lot of hype before it came out. This is going to be Game of the Year. This is going to be Game of the Year.
Yeah, and I remember saying
this
that,
is
too.
nowhere near Game of the Year.
right.
And granted, this year is a very diluted year, in my opinion, with games coming out or games that have already come out. There isn't a AAA title that's come out yet that has blown my mind, except for the one I love very dear to my heart, which is Uncharted 4. But nothing is coming out except for a lot of shooters. There's nothing that's AAA that's really coming out that's going to blow it away. So, unfortunately, this game will still get a lot of looks for Game of the Year just because of its
Hype.
uniqueness and hype and the lack of AAA titles that are really worthy of paying the $60 for.
Yeah, the big thing that I see with this game that I have to give it credit for, even if I do get bored with it every now and then, is that it is a technological achievement. And I think as we go forward 5 more, 10 more years from now, people might forget this game if it doesn't really get better with DLC, but they'll always remember that games in the future that do this same kind of thing, but maybe they do it better, they're all going to go back and go, those guys did it first. So this is definitely given us a new, almost like a new, it's not really a new fully genre because it is like a survival game and we've got so many of those, but it's the first one of this size and scope, or at least they tried to make it as big as it appears to be. And so I give them credit for trying something different and pushing the envelope a little bit, because I know other people are going to take the ball and run with it, and maybe Hello Games will take their own ball and run with it. I hope so, because I already bought the game. But if somebody else grabs the ball and goes forward, at least now, they've started something else that we can all enjoy and look forward to.
I think, I'm going to interrupt them, sorry.
No, go ahead.
But I'm a huge Mass Effect fan. And I don't know if you guys are or not. I played all 3 to death. And the first thing that came to my mind was, oh my gosh, I could imagine Mass Effect's story into this kind of a universe. I would never buy another game the rest of my life.
Right, and see, that's where I was thinking with the space station stuff was Mass Effect. That's exactly, I'm like, okay, space station is going to be a bunch of vendors and stuff here. No, one dude.
Well,
One
maybe
dude, yeah.
maybe if they get working with somebody bigger than 10 guys, maybe they can apply their algorithm and their way of making the universe with the people that can fill it in with more stuff. And then bingo.
I hope they give that algorithm to AAA companies, because I'd love to see, BioWare, Naughty Dog, Bethesda. All of those AAA, Blizzard, anybody that's a AAA title company. I want to see them use that algorithm in a universe like, Diablo, Mass Effect, to Uncharted, to Last of Us, to I would even be happy, even though I'm not a fan. I'd love to see it in like Call of Duty, Battlefield, something that would be like, holy crap! I'm gonna build a city. I'm gonna defend my city, or whatever the storyline is. But just something that encompasses more than a 20-hour, 30-hour game that is never ending. I hope companies actually jump on Hello Games and say, hey, we'll give you $5 million for your algorithm. Yeah. So you can input it into our game.
Like the slates at the beginning, like every shooter has got like, Havoc engine, or if it has like the Unreal Engine or something. Maybe in the future you'll see Hello Engine or something like that, and they'll be they can license it. Print cash, just boom, 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 give it to everybody. You know what I mean?
Make it rain, buddy.
Yeah.
Make it rain.
Hello. All right, everybody. So hopefully that gives you some more information. I know we're like a week after the PC version came out, but we had to play it for a while. So if you haven't picked it up yet, this will give you everything you pretty much need to know to decide whether you're going to be on one side of the fence or the other. But overall, I'm saying it's not a terrible thing, and it's good for games as a whole. And some people like it more than others, just like anything. So until next time, everybody, remember, you never outgrow video games. I'm Chad the Gaming Dad. This is Cawzy and Chris, and we're here with the old guys, all the games. So this is our first three-way review. Let us know down in the comments if you like it, if you think of some other games that you'd like us to sit down and talk about and give you some information. And as always, go ahead and share with your friends and everything. And thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one. So
good night, folks.
Thanks again for watching. If you liked that video, please press like and subscribe. I love hearing from you guys, so leave your comments and any suggestions down below. Remember, there's tons of other gamers out there just like you and me, and they also know that you never outgrow video games. Feel free to share these videos all over social media, Twitter, Facebook, or whatever you use. This channel is for all of us. Let's make sure they know that they are not alone. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.